The Jaintias are one of the many tribal groups of northeast India where not much is known about them in terms of their origin and migration. Whatever little is known about them is being handed over by their ancestors orally right from time immemorial. Though the people have come to stay in this beautiful landscape, the history of the Jaintias, or the Pnars of the upland region, as this is the term they prefer to call themselves, is a matter of debate till today. Though there are a number of theories about their ancestral land and migration, they had never really cleared the doubts that surround the claims and counterclaims of the scholars and researchers, both from within or outside the region. Going by the oral tradition of the people, references is being drawn to their Ukatnruvasa, or the 16 huts that stayed in heaven. From this Katnruvasa, Utrikirot, or God, had ordered the Nyawasa, or the 7 huts, to go down to a special place prepared for them, that is, the earth. In the process, out of the 16, 9 remained in heaven and 7 came to live and prosper in this earth. This tradition, like many other traditions, claims that man was directly created and sent by God to this earth. The people still believes that the Nyawasa came living the rest in heaven.
Now, Jaintia Hills is being blessed with a beautiful landscape, and as we can see here, there's plenty of greens, and we have a beautiful river flowing. Now, this river is called Muntulu River, which encircles the entire Joy town. But at this part of the town, this place, it's called by a different name. It's called Tre Yongriang. Now, this is Moosniang. As you can see, it's being carved in the shape of a pig. And it's considered to be one of the important, if I can use the word, totem, the form of a symbol, which protects one of the entry towards the Joy town. It is from one piece of rock. The entire carving is being made from one piece of rock. This is the rear part of the stone pig, and you can see everything is very prominent. The shapes, everything's intact. Here we have the tail portion. And there's a lot of deep marks here, perhaps the time when the sculptor was carrying out his work. These are the marks which are very, very prominent. Not much of a finishing work can be seen here. For example, all these. You have depression at certain places and slight elevation in certain areas. Yet we find that on the whole, it has a picture of an animal. And if you go by the local tradition, it says that this is Moosniang. And perhaps the name of this locality also have a lot to do with this stone. We have reached a place called Thumu at this point of time. Here we have a place where cultivation is being carried out. And the Jaintias, they are famous for bed rice cultivation. Right now with me we have Mr. Chaprang Pasa, who's a person who involved with very much of this kind of exploration. And it's nice to meet you early in the morning. Thank you so much for coming. And with Mr. Chaprang, we are going to track the brittle path which the king and his people used to move around from this place. Mr. Chaprang, we just can't find the brittle path.
Maybe due to the nature's times pass by,
Okay.
we can locate where's pinpointed the exact location of that brittle path.
Okay.
But from the oral tradition what from the elders, they used to pass by from here through to Jaintia.
To Jaintia. This is the road, no?
This is the
road.
which it connects with that bridge, which we call is the Thulumui and King Thulumui.
Okay, the stone bridge.
Stone bridge.
The stone bridge. But the oral tradition is very strong, no? That people they still believe, no? Even till today.
Till today.
They still believe, no?
Even if you tell them the other ways also, it's hard for them to believe.
To believe, no? Okay. In fact, like, good. We'll be going there now, no?
We'll be going there.
Yeah, okay.
And that bridge, from that point, it will lead to another part called Krangsuri. Krangsuri, then we meet Umyakane.
So all these bridges, all these roads, they connect to just one destination, that is the capital, Jaintia, is it?
Jaintia.
Ah, that's so nice. Come. Let us go and find out this place now. Hi. Hello, sir. How are you? Hi. It's nice that, meeting you here. In fact, like, maybe you can help us.
Yeah, what a nice
We are having a problem, me and Mr. Chaprang, we're having a problem of tracking the brittle road.
I see.
And we have reached this place, the stone bridge of Thulumui.
Oh, yeah.
And can you please help us out? Where, are you busy? Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, I'm going somewhere. Actually, I'm on tour, but I can help.
I think like there are a lot of stories and tales, perhaps, no, about. Mr. James,
Yeah.
like, can you just tell us something about this place? And it appears that the brittle road had really disappeared,
Yeah, it has disappeared. I think for quite some time now, some years ago. Otherwise, we used to have stone pavements over here.
Okay.
And people used to use this brittle path, especially the people from Jaintia Hills. They used to go to Juai from this path only. But very unfortunate, we cannot see it now. So as you can see now, if you go to this, there's a stone bridge here,
Okay.
which people used to pass through this. I mean, when they cross the river, they cross from this bridge only. So this is the place I was talking about. It's a stone bridge, so made of 5 to 6 slabs, stone slabs actually. So this the path, the brittle path, and this stone bridge connects with the brittle path up to Juai, where people I was talking about used this
Yeah.
in the past. Unfortunately, this one also has broken down.
You're telling me that like this is the way, this is the road, this is the bridge where the people right from the ancient days used to travel.
Yeah.
No? We are very fortunate here today to sit here on this stone bridge. I mean the Jaintia king used to walk, used to come by this way.
Yeah, even the Britishers.
Even the Britishers also. Mr. Chaprang, if there's anything like oral tradition about this bridge and how it was constructed, and you were telling me about those giants, those Mars.
Yeah, so based on that oral tradition,
Okay.
our ancestor narrated.
Okay.
They say that it is constructed by the 4 brothers, cousin brothers, two of them.
Okay.
They constructed. They are our giants. So they walk with the Jaintia king. Each slab 4, each one 4, so that to make a name, no, for each of the 4 brothers. But when coming to this place,
Yeah.
I have seen 5 slabs.
5 slabs.
So with that narrated by our ancestor, they say 4, but here 5. I don't know how to tell you how to say it.
It's not linking, is
It's
it?
not
The oral
linking,
tradition
yeah.
and what we can see really right now. Now, Mr. James, like now that's very interesting information which we got from Mr. Chaprang about this oral tradition. Like like how people they believe the number of stones were there, and coming to this place we could see that like there were additional stones, which doesn't really have that connectivity with that. Now, you have anything to say on that?
No, sorry, I do not have much to say on that.
Uh-huh.
But But anyway, what we have seen here, it's proof enough that people, people of the past, they can construct such a structure like this. It's really a monument kind of things.
That's true.
But unfortunately, now we are going to lose each, and slowly it seems that we are going to lose whatever we have. From the past.
Now, if we look very carefully into the structures, we find that one stone is being placed on top of the bridge. Perhaps this is a stone that had fallen down, which maybe the present authorities, they decided to take it up and place it on top. But what is more interesting is the kind of cuts and angles that's been given to this huge block of stone. And to think about the kind of technology that's being used at that point of time. But on clear observation, even from this distance, we can see that there's a lot of markings, cuts perhaps of chisel, hammer. All these have been used to give it the shape which it is, as we can see right now. Now, if you go by what the Britishers have to say, especially in the writings of J.H. Hutton, who had passed through this area in the later part of the 19th century, he says that these were entirely the work of the artisans from the plains who were working for the king. Now, if you look here carefully, we find that this huge block of stone, huge slabs rather, it's been given shape in order to put it in place. They have cut this portion, this huge block has been cut from this portion to be placed on this, and also to be supported by other stones. Now, to me, like this art of engineering is a bit complex.
It is the purpose, I think, is just to strengthen this slab, so that it don't move this side and that. This one is just like a pillar.
To support this one?
Yeah, to support this one. And this one is to support this slab so that it don't move this side, isn't it?
Okay. From this angle we can see the span of the bridge, and just by the side of it we have this new bridge has been constructed by the government, and as I said earlier, this is the road which connects really the main road to Bangladesh. All the trucks carrying coals, they would ply through this main bridge, which you can see quite ahead of us. And the old bridge that was constructed during the time of the Jaintia king still stands proudly as it used to be before.
Regarding that slab, it was told that when Harry English traveled by an elephant, that's why it broke. So it broke, then that slab would fall in the river.
Okay.
So now why it was on top there, it seems that the declaration, this place is a heritage site. When the authority concerned, they put it on top of that. Maybe they want to erect it as it is before.
Okay. So there's an attempt, is it, for the restoration of this bridge? Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Now we have reached a place called Chikantalang. Interestingly, like the way, the manner in which the stones are being laid here, it clearly gives an indication that it's being laid down for a case of remembrance to someone, perhaps. And if you go by some of the traditions which the people has to offer from this place, they say that like these stones are being laid in remembrance of one lady who's married to 300 men. Now, how far that the oral tradition is true is again a matter of debate and speculation. Now, we have a friend here, Mr. Chaprang, who's busy counting the stones, and whether it really runs up to 300 or something like that. Another information which I have managed to gather from the local people, they said that like during the Jaintia resistance movement 1860-1863, they said that around 300 British soldiers were killed in this place. Perhaps this area has seen the thick of it as far as the fighting was concerned. And as a mark of remembrance, like these stones were spread out here. The British records, they are completely silent about the massacre of 300 British soldiers in this place. Whether it was that woman or whether it was the case of the British soldiers is a big question.
What we call here, these stone slabs they call mopentia. Is it? These are mopentia, and these ones which are standing here, they are called mopenye.
Okay.
That is in Jaintia. See, this is a place where they used to rest.
Okay.
Because as we have discussed in the previously, see, it is along the brittle path.
So this is the brittle path, is it?
This is a brittle path.
And the people from, when they come from Jaintipur, they walk through this way.
Walk through this to
and they used to rest here, is it?
They used to rest here. These are the purpose of this is for it serves as a resting place.
Okay. There's a beautiful display of the stones, the flat table stones. No, what do you say?
Yeah.
These are called mopentia, no?
Mopentia.
Mokunar.
Mopentia. These are called mopenye.
Now, one thing which I would like to ask you is this: like, do you think that there's any kind of religious sentiments or religious practices associated with the stones here?
That I haven't heard of.
Do you have any references that like people they used to come here and have some kind of ritual or something like that, or it's basically meant just for the traders, for the merchants coming from Jaintipur to Nartia or to Joy?
This kind of erection of these stones, it's monoliths, no? On the path, on the road path, on the bridge, it means purposely for a resting place. Because for any kind of religious rites or practice, this is not the way of erecting or constructing.
Right now we have hit the road, the brittle path, and as you can see, it's still left like the way it was right from before. Though indications are there, tracks are there where vehicles used to fly off and on, it seems. The journey at this point of time is not very comfortable, but nevertheless, we have decided to move forward, and here we go. I don't think like we can move forward with the vehicle. It's best for us to get down from the vehicle and move ahead. We have to trek now. There's quite a couple of distance, I think. No, we have to walk from here. Carry a lot of things with us. Dao, both hands. Jungles have to be cleared. And my advice to people who would like to venture into this place is like, you need a sturdy vehicle like this one. Now this is the main reason as to why we cannot take the vehicles further. very loose soil here. Though you have a four-wheel drive, yet there's every possibility that you might just get stuck here. So the safest way is to keep the vehicle back there and then start walking. Now this is something which is very interesting. I did not really imagine that like you will be hitting the same road which the king, for example, this very part. Now we have come to this place. Now we can see the trails, the remnants. From here again we can see all the stones are being put in place, and it's a clear indication that at one point of time the entire stretch was laid here, and of course across that side also. It's pretty wide. It's pretty wide from this part up to this, and the entire stretch from here right till there. And right ahead of us we can see those stones again, the resting place for the people. This is the flat stone, the resting place. And below here there's also a significant space perhaps for the people to put their goods and things like that. Though there are many stories that like there are stones where the people used to hide, take shelter rather, from the sun and rain. But this definitely is not one, because there's not sufficient space here. Now it must have really taken a lot of trouble and pain for people during those days really to have a so well spread of the stones. In many places they are still very much intact and they look as good as new. Wow! So this is Yakane. Now here would means water, and Yakane means here like to scramble. And here if you look that we have a huge slab of stones, one huge big stone there, and this side two, one on the right, one on the left. Now interestingly here on the closer inspection you can see that there are holes, one here and the other there. Now we don't really know like for what purpose these holes are in this huge block of stone. Perhaps at the time when they were transporting the stones from one place to another, it is indeed a very huge one, and so therefore like they have made this perhaps to support the people who are carrying the stones. Here we find that on a closer inspection we find that they're all cut marks, and it's a clear indication that a lot of chisel, a lot of handwork have gone into place. But the very fact that the entire structure was being laid and spread out in this kind of fashion, more so to get this kind of an arch right on top, from one span to another, and how they managed to put this stone without any kind of a support, now that itself is really a great thing. The topmost part of that block out there, we have a description, a figure-like thing, where it resembles something like a horse, though the tail does not really look like a horse, it's more of a lion. And we also have the floral designs just below it. Now this speaks clearly about the architectural designs that was flourishing perhaps in the time of the Jaintia Raj. It is very difficult at this point of time again to say that whether it's the local people who have worked out this design, or could it be the artisans of the king from the plains who have done this knitful. It looks very much similar to the other one from the other side of the bridge, but here perhaps a time constraint, or could be of any other reason, they just couldn't finish this one and it remained just like this. It could be a floral design. This side again, neither could we see any kind of those carvings, be it like that or horse-like kind of a figure. Now the stones are very plain this side. Nothing except for this. Except for this. It's 2 p.m. right now and we are here at a place called Rupasar in Sendai, and this place is famous because of this pond that was built during the time of the king, the Jaintia king. Now one amazing feature about this place is that the entire pond is being carved out from a single piece of rock. There's also a carving of an elephant from that single piece of rock in this pond. Now here is the staircase which leads to the pond. 3 staircases are visible clearly, and there are also another 3 below. That means altogether there are around 6 staircases here. Now altogether this tang is around 360 square feet. Here we can see the extension of this projection. From a single piece of rock, it expands, it goes right into the water, and this is the body of the elephant. And interestingly, it's beautifully being done. You can see the carvings here, and this is the head portion of the elephant. Now we can see here that there are some candles around. We don't really know for what purpose the candles are here, but maybe we'll be able to clarify this like when we talk to some of the local people. We are fortunate to have here Mr. Yamon Sermang, who is a person from this place, and he'll be able to throw some light about this place, and also, like as I said earlier, the candles that has been placed here. It's clear. It's clear from the indications are very clear that perhaps people have come here to worship or pay homage or things like that. Mr. James, if you can please ask him like how these things have come here, like like the candles, and also like maybe like throw some light on this place. Like, if you can just ask him about it.
And so I like you remember like the nhà của thì ban bố chặt nó cái đánh này đẹp lắm. What is trying to tell us non-local people, you can see the local tourists, they often come here, especially during the month of late March and early April, specifically April. So they have come here to pay homage. Once in a year, people come here.
Now, they come here for what purpose? Is it to pay homage or to do some kind of a puja or kind of ritual? What is it really exactly?
I think it's both things. One is to pay homage also, and the second thing is to have a puja here, prayer.
Can you please ask him what about the local people from this place? Do they have any kind of affiliation to this kind of ritual?
People are looking to this place. It's just like it's a kind of a monument. Because they know that the king of Jaintia is to come here, and this is all the local people are doing.
In other words, it means like the local people, they don't really come to do any kind of ritual. It's basically so that means like the plain people, is it?
It's only the plain.
It's plain people, the non-tribal people, they come here. Basically Hindu, is it? So, in fact, this is the time when they've come, is it? Okay.
I think this year they have already come.
This year they've already come, no? And that's why we can see, no, all these things. Okay.
This one is a chair. So this is
The back seat, is it?
Yeah, the back seat.
This is the back seat.
Where these people sit here and relax, just like this.
Okay.
While they're
So this
watching
is the
king
place.
production.
This is the place, huh, where the
Yeah.
king and all used to sit.
Yeah.
It's nice, huh?
It's nice.
It's nice. Huh? So they'll be sitting from here. His officers will be sitting from here. Pond will be that side, isn't it? And we can also have a look. It's quite a good expanse, huh? Even this side also.
Yeah.
You can see here. These are again huge table stones.
Huge tablespoon.
Huge table stones.
This one should be the table, I suppose.
Okay. It looks like that. It appears to be like that. These are the sitting arrangements here, well spread out, and this could be the table, huh? Where they would put whatever food or drinks, whatever for the king. And it seems all along the way we have the stone, but it seems the back seat. I don't know for what reason it seems it's not there, or maybe like these are meant for the lesser officers.
Yeah,
could
for
be.
the lesser officers.
Could be for the lesser officers.
This could be for the VIPs. These are with the
Could be. Yes.
for the lesser people.
This could be for the king and also his immediate deputies,
Yes.
and these are for the lesser officers. Now within the same enclosure, just by the side of the pond, we have come across a slab of stone again here. And for this, Mr. Chaprang has something to tell us. Can you please throw some light on this? What is this stone all about?
By tradition, it was narrated that this stone is resemble a sun,
Okay.
and the other one, a small one, which
The small one means here, this one, is that?
yeah, this one.
This one here.
It's the moon.
This is the moon, is that?
The moon.
This is the moon and that's the sun.
Full moon. Full moon.
Okay. Perhaps it's some kind of an insignia, kind of a symbol for the royal family. There are too many questions which, one have to ask, one needs to look into. I feel that these things would definitely serve its purpose at one point of time. And why they should have a sun, why they should have a moon. Another interesting feature, like in the pond itself, carving of an elephant. And then there's a very strong story which runs that some of the bridges which we have come across in Thumu and other places where there's a strong reference to an elephant crossing the bridge, and that the stone collapsed because of the passing of this elephant. Now, somewhere down the line, I see that there's a fine line there, like the connection between the stones, the elephants. Then here we have the sun, we have the moon. Or perhaps it has to do something with the royal family also. With the royal family. Now, these are certain questions which, one needs to look into very carefully. And for the researcher, especially the local researchers, they need to look into and probe into the details of this. Now, this place in Rupasar would clearly reflect on the kind of architectural skill as far as rock cut stones are concerned. We have Ma Ping here with us. Now he will take us through this route. This is the brittle path used by the king. And Ma Ping Sidak will take us to that bridge down there. Now we have come to a place, in fact, like this is something which is very interesting. This is the manner in which the water is being irrigated to the plantation area. Now this place is famous for betel leaves, betel nut, and the water, as we can see, through this bamboo pools here, it's being taken all the way downstream. In fact, being told that it runs perhaps to a mile in length. Now this is something which is very unique about this place, and not just here. In many other parts of Khasi giant hills, we find that this is the way in which the water is being irrigated from one place to another. At this point, we are just halfway to the bridge, and as I've mentioned earlier, we have hit the brittle path. You can see this slab of stones here. Now we have a stream flowing below. It is very difficult for us to go down, and but it's a clear indication that this bridge is being built by putting one stone on top of the other. There's a very narrow channel here, which connects this part to that part, and there's new enforcement put by local people so as to prevent the people from falling down. This is something which is very interesting. Now these huge stones are being reinforced with iron. Now this is iron. This is iron, and perhaps those holes which we have seen in the stone there at Umyakne perhaps have a lot to do in common with this kind of things, where the other stones are being kept one on top of the other and being supported by this kind of iron. Now I'm saying this for the first time, and perhaps this is the kind of technology that's been used by the people as to how they would put one block of stone on top of the other. I think it's important for us to go down, right down. Now we have reached to the bottom of the bridge, and this is an interesting place here. And very closer kind of inspection, we see that these are iron rods. Even this one here also. And likewise we have these other parts, perhaps where the iron was kept at one point of time. Now I've been told that this is the base. This is the base of this structure here. Now this structure had collapsed for many reasons unknown. Now here, as far as the architectural design is concerned, it represents Gothic art. When we say Gothic art, perhaps like we're talking here about the European kind of influence. The arches which are there. Now whether this had also come from that side, from the European side, or maybe like it's a part of a replica of the other bridges which are there in Jaintia, that's again another area that we have to look into. And sad to see that one portion of the bridge had collapsed, and there's no proper care that's being taken, whether from the authorities or whether from the local people. Nothing's being done. By the look of it, it doesn't seem that this stone wall would really last for a long time. Now I was just talking about the reinforcement of those iron pegs, but interestingly again here, if you see from below, you can just have the camera here, from below we can't really see any holes as such, nor there's any iron for that matter to support this. It would clearly mean here that these stones, they are being kept one on top of the other, and they have remained like that for a pretty long time. It does also appear that when we talk about the reinforcement for the base, those irons were used to support. But when we talk about the smaller stones, there is no indication whatsoever that iron was being used here. Now according to what Ma Ping have just informed us, with the collapse of this bridge, this portion of the bridge, those stones also must have rolled down the stream. Now this is the road, this is the bridge. We have looked into the bridge, we have looked into the details of the bridge, with its beautiful architectural work and all that. If we move from here and we continue walking ahead, we will reach a place called Borkhat. Now it's not really possible for us at this point of time to go to that place. It's pretty far, and more importantly, like, we need to cross a huge river by boat, and the time is not really permitting us to venture into that area. Now interestingly, in this place Borkhat, we have a Hindu temple, and also a place where human sacrifices used to be carried by the Jaintia king. Now we are in this place called Plain, which is also in Sindai. And here we are in another pond, and it's regarded as the Queen's Pond. Now, not many people have really come across this place. And here we can see that the structure is quite different from what that was there really in the other pond which we have just come across. That is the King's Pond. Now, by the look of it, here's again a clear case where this pond is being carved out from a single block of stone. Further up, we find that there's a kind of a stone structure. We can't really say for sure what is it really. Does it really resemble the elephant that was there in the King's Pond? But it does look that some kind of a work was carried out and it had remained incomplete. Okay, here we have a hole cut out of the stone, and there are three. 1, 2, and 3 out there.
Actually, from what the local people are telling, see, just a few meters away from here, you have some of those, stone slabs.
Okay.
It seems like it is a resting place.
Okay.
So these holes being made here, where, as per the local people, this is where the pole is constructed, 3 poles, and then on that they put a screen with a cloth,
Okay.
so that they will, the queen will have a free
access to the
pond
Okay.
for herself, so that that screen will divide her between the visitors and the thing, while the people are resting there.
Her people and her.
Yeah.
So she can have her own privacy
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
here. Is it? That does make sense now. Does make sense now. Now the Queen's Pond is again another specimen as far as the Jaintia rock cut art is concerned. And these are clear indication that there was a lot of activity during the time of the Jaintia Raj. Now we have reached another spot here. As we can see that the size of these holes are comparatively the same. Now, like these holes, there are quite a good number of them. This one here, including this one, and plus this one, and also here. So, from the indication, it would appear that these holes are meant for erection of some kind of a temporary pillar. Could be for a screen or a shamaya for the queen and her other ladies to take the rest here before they would proceed from here and go to the cave where the, the Shiva Linga is there. It's called Krem Mahadev. So down below we have the plains of Bangladesh. Now that is Bangladesh, and we are taking this shot from a bit higher up of a place called Sokha Model. And you can see that since there's a lot of activity going on at this point of time, it's not too late into the night, and you can see a clear view of Bangladesh from here. It's pitch dark, hardly any kind of electrification around the side. We have to use the headlights of the vehicle for this purpose. If you look across that side straight, where I'm pointing at, that's Bangladesh for you. And you can still see vehicles flying on the highway. That is from the Bangladesh side. Now, as far as our expedition is concerned, I think we have to call it quits for today. It's dark, we just can't trace the brittle path anymore. And whatever that we have done so far, I hope that we will be able to project it in a better light. As far as whatever that's the Jaintia Raj, the Jaintia King, they have achieved so far. In fact, I'm really indebted to Mr. James, the DFO of Giant Hills, who have been very supportive. Though he was on his official tour, managed to get into his vehicle, and we were moving into this area. And I hope that in the days to come, we can bring some kind of awareness. We also have Mr. Antolo, thank you so much. You have been accompanying me from Shillong and like been wonderful with the job. At this point of time, I would like to request Mr. Chaprang also to please come forward and you know, like it's been a wonderful task, you know, helping us out with all the project work and all that. And I hope that we'll be able to do much better work in the future, especially to show to the people the glory of the Jaintias and the kind of achievement, you know, which the people at that point of time they have achieved. And today I am really thrilled, like, you know, considering the kind of you know, like whatever that they have done, like be it from the rock cut art, the kind of the pavement of stones, all those kind of things. I hope that like the local historians, researchers from the region, they would try to, you know, like inculcate within themselves a sense of historical research to go deeper and to understand much better. We have just touched just the periphery of the entire thing, but hopefully like in future, like, you know, more work should come out of that. Thanks a lot once again. It was a great thing. Great job, great job. Yeah, thanks.